LuLu. She's really outdone herself this time, hasn't she? Even for her, this was a new low. No filter, no mercy, just pure, unbridled cruelty, and she didn't care who was watching, not even Dante. Carly might as well have been talking to a brick wall because nothing she said got through to LuLu. That whole going to Carly thing, yeah, it wasn't about actually talking things out. She just wanted Carly on her side, that's all. And then there was Brooke Lynn. Watching her cry over losing her son was gut-wrenching, but did LuLu show any ounce of sympathy? Nope, she just kept attacking. It's like she was totally oblivious to how painful it was for Brooke Lynn to hear that news, and she couldn't care less. No excuses for LuLu here. She crossed a serious line, and then, just for good measure, she didn't just throw Lois under the bus. She drove the whole damn bus over her. The cherry on top? Now we know it was Lois who met with Martin and spilled everything to him. I can already hear it. Lois is going to try to lie her way out of this. Classic. Honestly, I'm so over LuLu Spencer. She's completely unbearable at this point. She's in everyone's business and can't seem to mind her own. Mark my words, she's going to tell Dante or Brooke Lynn about the secret she's uncovered, because that's just who she is. Charlotte is so much better off being away from her, and poor Rocco. When was the last time anyone saw LuLu actually spending time with him? This show is all over the place lately. The storylines make no sense, and nothing adds up. Can we just bring Sam back and ditch LuLu already? Honestly, at this point, LuLu's way more annoying than she's ever been. And for the record, it's official. LuLu is now the female character I can't stand the most, and Drew takes the top spot for the males. I figure I'd split it up into categories so I wouldn't have to choose. I was devastated when Brooklyn said, "a boy," and found out the truth in such a cruel way. I used to like LuLu, but now just seeing her makes my skin crawl. But hey, at least there's one thing to look forward to. When Brooklyn and Gio are finally reunited, it's going to be one of the most emotional moments on this show. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. LuLu, another character ruined right alongside Drew, TJ, Jagger, Emma, Willow, and Brennan. Honestly, if you're looking for the absolute worst of the worst on GH right now, look no further than LuLu. And I don't say that lightly, considering Drew, Willow, and new Christina are all competing for the title of most insufferable. But LuLu, she's somehow managed to outdo them all. It's particularly painful when you realize they killed Sam to make room for this monstrosity of a reboot. I mean, she's basically teen LuLu on steroids, still holding grudges from 15 years ago, while everyone else around her has, grown up. Unlike Nina, who went into a coma as a young adult and woke up middle-aged, LuLu's 4 years of unconsciousness didn't pause her development. It just pushed her straight into petty 16-year-old mode. She woke up all mature and kind, and somehow became the exact opposite. Take her treatment of Brooklyn, for example. LuLu couldn't care less about what Brooklyn has to say, because why would she? LuLu is an entitled brat who only cares about herself. She hasn't spent 2 seconds with her son Rocco. Honestly, I feel so bad for that poor kid. The worst part? LuLu won't even face consequences for breaking into Martin's room. She'll probably just get away with it because of course she will. And surprise, surprise, LuLu doesn't take Carly's advice for a second. She woke up from that coma and instantly became even more self-centered. Honestly, she and Drew would make a perfect couple. Both could just waltz off to DC and leave everyone else in peace. But what about Dante? I'm genuinely curious how he's going to feel when he finds out LuLu is essentially emotionally blackmailing Brooke Lynn, giving her an ultimatum. And when Dante asks how LuLu got the info, she's going to lie. Would it be so wrong if Dante decided to arrest her for breaking into Martin's room? I'd be thrilled if this backfires on LuLu in the worst way possible. She needs to be fired from deception. She's not even remotely likable. And honestly, GA is just full of these utterly insufferable, self-absorbed characters at the moment. Drew, LuLu, Christina, and Willow? That's a record, right? They had potential with Cody and Sasha. Oh wait, then they made them cousins. Molly and Dex? Well, they killed off Dex. Sam and Dante? They killed Sam. Sasha and Michael? They set him on fire. Drew and Jordan? Now Drew's just unbearably sleazy. Emma had potential, but they decided to tap Joss for the WSB instead. And don't even get me started on #Challian. Amanda and Josh, they were great, but no, let's make Chase sterile. It's like they're actively trying to sabotage everything. LuLu is the worst. Seriously, none of this is her business. Brooklyn and Dante were just kids, and neither of them was ready to be parents. And let's not forget that LuLu got pregnant as a kid too. She's only on her high horse because it's her chance to get back at Brooklyn. Can she just disappear already? And please, can someone explain why Alexis was stupid enough to touch that dagger? Sidwell took such care picking it up without messing with the prince. And now I'm convinced someone's setting Alexis up for murder. Brilliant. Why, oh why, did they bring LuLu back? The show was just fine without her. Thank you very much. It's hilarious that this is coming from someone who completely ignores her son, Rocco, while her daughter chooses to live with her dad. But sure, LuLu's the authority on everything. Martin needs to go full nuclear on her when he finds out what she's done. Someone please put her in her place already. And if LuLu dares threaten to spill the truth to Dante, Brooklyn should be ready to spill about how LuLu even got that information in the first place. Maybe LuLu should just mind her own business for once. Seriously. GH, you can absolutely get rid of LuLu anytime. In fact, the sooner the better, because no one can stand watching her since her return. And today, she went way too far with Brooklyn. She's been insufferable ever since she woke up. We all know Sidwell is about to do something with that knife, and guess who's going to take the fall? Yep, Alexis. Meanwhile, the new Jack? Total snooze fest. Bring back the old one. LuLu was 100% in the wrong, and honestly, I'm just as annoyed with her as I am with Drew, Nina, and now Willow. She's disgusting, and she deserves to go right back into that coma and stay there this time. She clearly has no idea how to act in the real world, so why bother? LuLu's got this holier-than-thou attitude, doesn't she? Like, she made a choice as a teenager that worked for her and her body, and so did Brooklyn. Big deal, it was just a different choice. Neither one of them owes anyone an explanation about their personal decisions. It's their bodies, their lives. So maybe LuLu should mind her own business and keep her judgments to herself. And don't even get me started on Sidwell. Did anyone catch how he handled that knife after Alexis left? He's seriously planning to kill someone and somehow have Alexis take the fall. I can already tell he's up to something shady. The question is, who's his next target? As for LuLu, she needs to get off her high horse and leave Brooklyn alone. She's become so self-righteous since waking up from that coma. Before, she was fiery, but now she's just mean, vindictive, and way too entitled. I can't stand her. It's like the writers decided to completely change her character, and it's not even the same LuLu anymore. Pretty soon, there won't even be a general hospital worth watching, because everything's being ruined. Honestly, I might just stop watching at this point. It's clear LuLu's just jealous of Brooklyn. She knows Brooklyn and Dante have this special bond, especially now with the baby involved. But LuLu's bitter because she can't stand seeing them happy. It's none of her business, but she's so desperate to stir the pot and ruin things for Brooklyn. She's absolutely miserable in her own life and wants to make everyone else as miserable as she is. Honestly, she could use a makeover. New hair, new attitude, new life. I don't know what the writers were thinking with LuLu's character after the coma. Sure, she's always had that Spencer fire, but this new version of her is unbearable. I get that Brooklyn did some shady things when LuLu and Dante were married, but the writers need to take LuLu down a notch. She's acting like her decision is the only right one. And let's be real, if Dante had known what Brooklyn was going through, he would have taken the choice of giving up the baby out of her hands. He didn't even know his own father. Somebody needs to give these writers a reality check. This isn't just a character change. It's a full-on character assassination, and it's ruining everything. And honestly, Brooklyn should have told LuLu straight up, "At least I didn't murder my child like you did." Oh, and by the way, what kind of name is LuLu for a grown woman? The great chemistry between these two. Honestly, it's a wonder they're not nominated for an award. And let's talk about Brooklyn's charming revelation of having a son. What a delightful way to find out, right? Meanwhile, Laura's daughter is off being an absolute nightmare, just a joy to watch. Then there's Sidwell, who's basically plotting to frame Alexis for something. I can't even. The guy needs to go. And LuLu, good grief. Who gave her the idea that inserting herself into Brooklyn's business was a great plan? It's so none of her concern. On a more exciting note, I'm dying to see if Isaiah is really Nora and RJ's son. Could lead to some juicy cameos, right? Meanwhile, LuLu can go ahead and revisit the woods, fall into that coma again. It's almost like Carly gave her the best advice of the day to stay out of it, and shockingly, it stuck for about 5 minutes. Until she saw Dante, of course. And let's talk about that cringeworthy moment when she had to say, "my son's half-brother." Because, obviously, everything has to be about LuLu. Heaven forbid she just say, Dante's son and Rocco's half-brother. It's like she has to make it personal. Always. As for Jordan and Isaiah, romance on the horizon apparently. And Joss may be enjoying her little adventure with a new love interest and a potential career change. But oh, LuLu confronting Brooklyn about the adopted baby? Cue the drama, especially when Chase finds out. Lois is about to have major problems with Brooklyn. Can't wait for that meltdown. Now, about the new LuLu. Yeah, she's a fine actress, but she just doesn't feel like the LuLu we're used to. It's like watching someone try to wear someone else's shoes and just flop. Same with the new Jack Brennan. The guy's personality is just so dull now. The new WSB agent? Please, I'm sure he's Joss's next love interest. Yawn. And seriously, how many boring couples do we need? I'm skipping through entire episodes at this point. It's getting hard to even stay interested. Speaking of, anyone with a shred of intelligence knows not to leave fingerprints on a weapon you're handing off to someone else. Cough Alexis. Just saying. LuLu's behavior today, absolutely out of line. The jealousy and anger are beyond gross. The look on her face was downright cruel. Poor Brooklyn didn't stand a chance because she didn't even know it was her own mother who went to Martin. If Dante doesn't read her the right act for this, I'll be shocked. And honestly, I couldn't care less about Jordan right now. But hey, at least Carly's staying far away from that traitor Brennan, so there's that. Oh, and Joss? Looks like she's getting a new cutie to swoon over. Can't wait for that to play out. Sidwell? Definitely hiding some big secrets. He's either a Cassadine or a Jerome, and I'm leaning toward the latter, given the whole shoulder touch with Lucas. Plus, we all know Julian was obsessed with bombs, and we've seen him do the whole disguise and return routine before. Now, conveniently, there's Alexis's DNA on a weapon. Can't wait for that to get real messy. Finally, we've got Portia and Curtis, and Trina and Kay, who are about as exciting as watching paint dry. Thank goodness for the only black couple with actual chemistry, which is so much better than just looking pretty. Thank you, TV gods. Lois had all the energy in the world when she climbed up on her moral high horse, ready to spill the tea about Nina reporting Carly to the SEC. Oh, truth mattered to her so much in that moment, didn't it? Never mind the fact that she's been hoarding a massive secret, one that could rock a whole bunch of lives, all while acting like she's the beacon of honesty. Classic. I'm just waiting for the moment when someone finally shoves that secret right in her sanctimonious face, because, honestly, someone needs to. Of course, this being GH, they're going to bring in a new character to stir things up. Because what's drama without a little discord? And predictably, it's going to be trauma, drama, and of course, affairs to make sure we all pick a side. LuLu and Maxie will both chase after Cody like there's no tomorrow. BLQ is getting written off with Dante, just wait and see. Molly will settle down with Chase and open a private practice with Trina. Yep, Trina's getting a law degree, because why not? She already got Portia's medical license back, so law school seems totally next on her list. Willow and Elizabeth will be BFFs, because why not throw in some more female bonding, as Willow goes to meet Oscar's mom. Oh, and plot twist. She'll sue Drew for using her son's death as political fodder. The drama never ends. Meanwhile, Alex will end up in a mental health facility, and somehow, Lansing will be the one to get her out because she's blamed for killing Sidwell, when, surprise, it was actually Sasha. All while Joss is busy reconnecting with Spencer and Michael, with some help from Scorpio. Laura and Holly? They're off to find Kevin, who's been blackmailed by Sidwell through Nicholas and Ace. Can't wait to see how that plays out. And Sonny? He's recovering from surgery and heading to his island with Natalia, where he'll find Valentin and Charlotte. But here's the real kicker. Remember when Laura convinced Esmond to turn herself in for breaking into Windermere? Yeah, I'm wondering if those same high moral standards are going to apply to LuLu. Spoiler alert. They probably won't. Brooklyn needs to step up and tell Martin that LuLu broke into his room. Seriously, someone needs to hold her accountable because she's getting on everyone's nerves. Now, let's go beyond Dante finding out about Brooklyn and Lois' little secret. What about Ned, Brooklyn's father, who's been left in the dark this whole time? How on earth do you hide something like this from the father of your daughter? And then there's Olivia, Lois' best friend and the mother of the baby daddy, who's been deceived as well. Don't forget Sonny, the father of said baby daddy, who didn't know Dante was his son at the time of the pregnancy. He's been helping support this child, unknowingly his grandson, for years. Awkward. And Tracy, Brooklyn's grandmother, is going to be devastated when the truth comes out. Plus, Lois' mom is apparently coming for a visit. And if you think that won't spark some drama, well, think again. Buckle up. This show really knows how to keep us all hooked, doesn't it? Have a great weekend, because at this point, we all need a break from this chaos. I swear, I can barely remember the details, but I'm pretty sure Cody dropped a hint about how wild he and Dante were back in their teen years, probably the reason Brooklyn made the choices she did. Oh, and let's not forget about LuLu. She was so thrilled about Dylan and Georgie that she decided to sleep with him and get pregnant, just to try and break them up. Classic move, right? Tracy and Dylan begged her to keep the baby, but it was Luke who was like, nah, go ahead and get the abortion. But Brooklyn's right, they made the choices that were best for them. Just because LuLu chose to tell Dylan about it doesn't make her any better. It was all about spite. She just wanted to break up Dylan and Georgie back then. Now, when LuLu starts judging Brooklyn, she could have hit back with, well, if you hadn't aborted your baby, yours would still be alive today. But hey, I guess you were just too selfish to think that through. Instead, Brooklyn, being the class act that she is, just reminded LuLu that she doesn't judge her decisions. But we all know who really has no class here. Self-righteous, narcissistic, judgmental LuLu. Speaking of people who need a reality check, why hasn't Portia turned the tables on Drew? Like, she could be recording him right now. She knows what he did, and yet, as a congressman, he didn't turn her in. He did nothing. So now, she's being blackmailed by him for his own personal gain? She should just keep that recording, hit send, and boom. Drew's the one in trouble. He's a congressman. For heaven's sake, he's supposed to report that. Talk about flipping the script. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.